English at all this week? I don't believe you. Any expressions or any words that you have questions about? That's okay. Hi, Danny.
Hello. Mr. King.
Any words, phrases, expressions?
Please ask for me at the gate.
Pardon me?
Please ask for me at the gate.
Okay, so please ask for me at the gate. So please ask for me, it's to ask, I need to see Janice. Or, so if you're telling someone, please ask for me at the gate. Please ask for me, that just means ask for the person that you need to see or that you need to talk to, okay? So, at the gate, would be out front. So where these gentlemen work. They work there at the gate. So a gate opens, right? So not like a door, but like a gate, right? The front gate, right? So it's just in front. So please ask for me in front at the guardhouse. Okay? So if someone says, please ask for me, they're saying to tell you to ask for them. So if I say, please ask for me, wherever you go to meet me, you need to say, hi, I need to see Matt. So it's ask for me. Do you understand that? So if I say, ask for me tomorrow at the library, so you'll come into the library, maybe you don't see me, and you'll walk up and you'll ask Judy, is Matt here? So that's asking for me, okay? All right. Okay. All right. Any other phrases? Words?
Sometimes we will ask students how do you spell scooch?
Scooch. Maybe that. Maybe. I'm not sure. Scooch. Hey Siri. Scooch.
Scooch.
No, it says Scrooge. Because it's a slang. It's not like a real word. It's huh? It's no, it's not a compound word. Let me see. No. And yeah, it's a real word. Scooch. No T. That's the first time I've ever spelled that word. I've said it many times, but I've never written it down. So. Alright, let's see, we got Sophia. And who else? Peyton. Alright, so scooch is to it's to move in a tight space or to move over a short distance, right? To scooch, be like, hey, can you scooch back? And that's a scooch, okay? If it's a tight space, I just need to scooch through here, excuse me, right? If you're in a crowd, you're scooching through the crowd. So it's short movements in a tight space. So what Amy was saying is she would tell the kids, scooch back just a little bit. So they're maybe sitting down and they kind of have to like move back a little bit. You're too close, scooch back, okay? So it's just moving little by little, okay? Or in a tight space. So if there's a crowd where everyone's standing like this, you're like, oh, excuse me, just got to scooch past you here. Scooching through. So, okay? Other words? Other phrases?
What's the difference between scooch back and back up? Back up.
Back up would be like a larger movement. So back up would be like, back up is also like the car is backing up, right? So it's just moving backwards. So if you tell them scooch back, they can go. And if you say back up, they go. Or they could keep going if they were, shoppy high. Like stop! Stop! Okay? Okay? Anyone else have phrase, words, expressions? Huh? Accustomed? That word? Accustomed. I am accustomed to coming into school and getting my cup of coffee in the morning. I go straight to the snack bar, get my cup of coffee, no sugar, a little bit of milk. Starts my day. Okay? So accustomed, you get used to something.
So are you I'm accustomed to something?
You're accustomed to tucking in your napkin before you eat. You're accustomed to telling people thank you when they give you something. Whatever it is, if it's something that you're used to doing, then you're accustomed to doing it. Okay? And it kind of breaks down to it being a custom. Do you know what a custom is? Like a tradition, right? So you're accustomed to doing something. So a custom is something that you do on a regular basis as part of a tradition for your culture. So that's what it's kind of saying, right? But it's just saying it's a less formal way of saying it. It's like you're just used to doing something, okay? I'm used to not untying my shoes and just pulling off the shoe when I get home, kicking them, right?
Yes.
Okay? That's being accustomed to something, right? Other words, other phrases. No? Accustomed? Yeah. So it's a stated verb. So like am or is, like be verbs, so you're accustomed to doing something. So it's not an action, it's a stated verb, which means you are in a state of something, right? You are that. Okay? Others?
You can lead a horse to water, but you can't.
Okay, that's a good one. That's an idiom. Okay. Ooh. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. Okay? So what that's talking about is you can take a horse up to water, right? But it's up to the horse to drink the water. So you think about the water as being anything, like, I don't know, you're teaching math, right? So you have a kid in math class and you teach all this math, but if the kid's just going, no, I'm not gonna learn it, I don't care, I hate math, then you can't force them to do it. It's still up to them to do the action, right? So that's what this is just saying. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink, okay? So it's just saying you can give them everything, but if they refuse to do it, well, you can't, I mean, sometimes you can force them, but that's beside the point. So it's still up to them to accept whatever that you give them, right? Okay? Vegetables are healthy, eat your vegetables. Right? Okay, same thing. Right? Any others?
Cats play, mouse play, mouse can play.
While the cat's away, the mouse can play. So you can either say it can or will play. So while the cat's away, the mouse can play. Just means like, think of the cat as like a authority figure, someone who's like a teacher. So if the teacher is a cat and they leave, what are the kids? The kids are the mice, right? And they're just gonna go, right? Go crazy, right? So it's basically just saying like, you know, if there's no one to watch over, then they get to do what they want. Right? Like I'm sure if I left this room, you would all be very good students and teach each other English, right? You would just have a good time and talk to each other, right? I like the honesty, Nicole. So, alright? Any final ones? No? Melody.
I heard it like years ago, but I can't remember the whole sentences. But it's something like you can stop something to happen.
Well, there's a lot of like ones that talk about stopping things.
Like you can stop something to happen. Like I remember that in the sentence they have a phrase. So do we have like river cross the bridge or anything?
That's difficult to figure out without a little bit more. Because I mean, there's thousands of idioms, right? So. This one, yeah, holy cow. I had this one before. I loaned it to a student, and then the student never gave it back to me. Look at that. Well, might be in this. He said bridge. Let's see. Bridge. No, nothing like that. Cross that bridge when you come to it, burn your bridges behind you. That's it, cross bridges. Yeah, I don't know. But if you ever wanna take a look, any book there. Alright, any others? No? Okay. So, today, I want to talk about prefixes and root words. So, if you could take one and pass it around. Okay. Let me know if you need any more. I made quite a few copies. Is that perfect? Oh. Am I good or am I good? Alright. So, prefixes and root words. Do you remember what prefixes are? Pardon me? Yeah, it goes in front of, it's a group of letters in front of a word, okay? So, it changes the meaning and gives a hint to the meaning. So why it's important and how to identify them. It's important so that you can change the meaning of a word. And then you add them onto root words to change that meaning. But with that, not all root words fit with every prefix. Okay? So now there's more people in here. It's been chilly in here all day. So root word. Do you know what a root word is? Root word. Does anyone know what a root is? Table? It's part of a tree, right? The bottom part that goes throughout the ground, right? Okay. So the root word is the part of the word that is what that word's based off of, right? Okay. So it's the part of the word that contains the main meaning. So how do I identify it? You can take away a prefix or a suffix, or you can divide a compound words into their own words. So in that case, there would be two root words, right? Like homework. Okay, home and work. Those are the two root words that are put together. All right. So you have on that sheet on the back side, you have this list of common prefixes. Okay. So with the first one, either or and, its meaning is without or lack of or not. So atheist, okay? So theist would be someone that believes in God. So atheist is someone who doesn't believe in, okay? Anaerobic, okay? Aerobic, do you know what that means? You know, like aerobic exercises, okay? It's talking about breathing, getting your body to oxygenate. So it's talking about oxygen, aerobic, okay? So anaerobic would be without oxygen, okay? So anti, we all know anti, right? Okay, so it means against something or the opposite of. Anti-aircraft.
Anti-submarine.
Yeah, anti-submarine. Anti-aircraft would be like over by the ACC, that direction. There's that park that has the gun turrets. Those are anti-aircraft because they shoot up at aircraft, airplanes, right? Okay. Antibiotic. When you're sick, you take antibiotics. Okay. Biotic means life, right? Bio is life. Okay. So against life. Kind of, right? Okay? It's slightly different meaning, but it does kill It's not like it just chooses the bad germs. When you take antibiotics, it kills your gut bacteria, right? So then like it gets rid of the bad, but it also gets rid of the good, right? So that's what that comes from. Auto, okay? Self or same, okay? So automobile, okay? Automobile, mobile to move. Auto, so it's automated or it's under self, okay? So it moves under its own guidance, right? Autofocus, right? When you're focusing with the camera, it's auto-focusing, so it's doing it by itself, okay? Con, or co. So all of these, it depends on what the word starts with, what letter it starts with, which will differentiate whether it means an M, an N, or no. Neither, okay? So it means with or together, so coworker, right? Okay, contact, companion, okay? So, contra or contro, so that means opposing or against, so contradict, okay? Controversy, all right? There is also something that's contrapposto in art, and it's where it's called weight shift, so you're shifting your weight to the other side. It's where they stand like this, where their legs go that way, their body kind of contrapposto, okay, against something. All right, D, all right, so down or off or away from, debug, degrade, deduct. All right, so debug would be something IT people are familiar with, right, to get rid of bugs in the system. Not actual, it's not like they're going in with a duster, right, okay, they're fixing something in the system. Degrade. Yeah, it's to downgrade something, or something is falling apart over time. Okay, it comes apart. All right, deduct. Okay, or to deduce. It's to guess the meaning. Yeah. Okay, or to have an educated guess on something. Okay, dis, not, apart, or away. So disappear. So it's gone away, right? As where there's appear, disagree. Okay, it's gone away from agreement. All right, N, to put into something, to enclose something. Envelope, right? Enslave, to put into slavery, right? Pardon me? Slavery. So slavery is like where people are forced to do the work for you, right? Against their will. Okay, for free, you don't pay them. Alright?
What is it?
Enslave, to put them into slavery. Right? So to put into. Okay? So to enslave someone, you take them and you're like, okay, now you're gonna work for me. I'm not gonna pay you. You just do it. Okay? So, X. So out of, or from, or former. Exhale. Inhale. Right? Ex-president was before, now is not, right? Okay? Extra, so beyond, outside, more than. Extracurricular, curriculars, it's like doing things in school, so extracurricular, like they're playing rugby out there right now, okay? Extraterrestrial, terrestrial, terra, earth. Extraterrestrial, aliens, okay? So outside of. Homo or homeo means same or alike. So homonym, homophone, homeostasis means stays the same. Okay? So like, what is it? Homo sapien. You know that term? Humans. It's a scientific term, Homo sapien. Sapien is talking about like ape. Homo, same. Okay? So, alright. So you know homonyms? Do you know homonyms? No, that might not be a link anymore. Homonym. You know synonym? So like happy, a synonym for happy would be like joy, glad, right? So it has the same meaning, but it's a different word. A homonym, Homonym is, I believe it's Now I'm getting mixed up. Homonym sounds, no, not sounds the same. Looks the same, but sounds different, I think. Yeah, let me see.
Looks the same.
Same song.
No, homophone is. Yeah, so they're spelled the same, but they have different meanings. Like
Same.
present and present, right? Live and live, okay? So homonyms are spelled the same.
Spell the same, but have different meaning. Have different meaning.
I checked the Google, it says same sound.
Homophone is talking about same sound. So homonym is talking about same spelling,
Same spell.
okay? So it's the same spelling, looks the same, but it has different meanings. So present, present,
Present.
present, right? So present, I'm here. Present, I'm doing a presentation to you. Present, here's a gift, right? They all have different meanings, okay? Live, live,
Live.
live, live, right? Okay? So that's homophone, or excuse me, homonym. Alright? And then homophone sounds the same but is spelled different. So phone, right? Telephone, sound, okay? So homophone sounds the same but spelled different. Like two, two, two. So that's a homophone. Sounds the same, spelled differently. Okay? Alright. This top one, ill, in, ear. Okay? So it's not or without, and depending on what the word starts with. Okay? If it starts with an L, you put ill.
Yep.
If it starts with an M, you put im. If it starts with a consonant, you put in. If it starts with an R, you put ear.
Ear.
Okay? So, consonant other than M, R, or L is in. But if it has M, then im. Okay? So you have illegal, right? Not legal.
Illegal.
Immoral, not moral. Okay? Moral, living good life, right? Being a virtuous person. Okay? Considerate, inconsiderate. Okay? So you're not considering other people. Okay? Responsible, irresponsible. Alright? In. Okay? So in can also have a meaning of in or into. Insert, inspect, infiltrate. Okay? So that's all talking about going into things. Okay? Inter, it's between. Internet. Okay? Between computers, they talk to each other. Right? Okay? Interstate. So in the US, we have the, the expressway you have here. Okay? Well, Taiwan is just one country, right? So it's maybe an intercity expressway. But we have highways that are interstate, and then we have interstate. Interstate means it stays within the state. Inter goes between. Okay? So interstellar. Stellar, stars. So in between stars. You know the Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 probes that the US sent out a long time ago? Voyager 2 just reached interstellar space. Just in the last few weeks. Okay? So now it's between stars. Okay? Intra, so the intranet. So IT is probably familiar with intranet. It means the network that is in this school. Okay? Yes, we have the internet, but we have an intranet as well. Okay? Introvert, someone that keeps to themselves. Extrovert, someone that is very social. Okay? Talks to a lot of people. Tries to be friendly with everyone. Okay? Miss, so not or opposite. Misunderstanding, so not understanding. Miscommunication. Non, not or without. Non-essential, so it's not essential. Non-fiction. Post, after or behind. Post-mortem, mortem, death. Post-mortem, so after death. Okay, you do an examination of someone after death, so you do post-mortem. Okay? Postscript, PS. Who knows PS on notes?
Yes.
Thanks, Matt. PS.
Yes.
Have a great birthday. Alright? Means postscript. Okay? Pre or pro, before. Prefix. That's what we're talking about. Before. It's fixed before the word. Okay? Prepare, project. Okay? So it's projected in front of it. Read, to do again, repeat, rewrite. Sub, under or lower. So submarine, subway, substandard. Okay? Trans, across or beyond. Transmit, transaction, translation, across language. Right? Okay? So unfinished, unskilled, ungrateful, unfriendly. Alright? So, how to correctly use them. I talked about a few of the rules, but they're complicated. Does it start with a vowel? Does it start with a consonant? Is it a Latin root word? Is it a Greek root word? What meaning are you trying to give it? Etc., etc., etc. Don't worry about that. Okay? It's better to just memorize. English sucks, I know. But this is one of those things where the rules are too complicated that native speakers don't even learn them. We just learn by hearing it. Okay? If you ask me why, before I taught this class, why you would put IR instead of IL instead of IN, I don't know, because it sounds right. Okay? It's just we pick it up natively. So it's just better to try and learn through memorization of it. Alright? Instead of trying to look at the long list, because I've looked at the list and it confuses me. Okay? So, now, what I want you to do is I want you to see, real quick, on the other side, there's 40 sort of words here. I want to see if you can figure out what they are. And you can work with someone close to you if you'd like to. Try and figure out what the prefix is, the negative prefix. Okay? So we're going to switch the meaning. Alright? So, the most common negative prefixes would be the un, non, d, I, R, I, M, I, N, I, L. Okay. Let's see. What else? Is, miss, and I think that's it. Okay? So, work together, see if you can, give you a couple minutes to do this one. Want to use a pen?
Thank you, one more, please.
Oh.
Anyone else need pencils?
Should use pen.
Okay, and then afterwards, I'll go through, and if you don't know the word, then you can write down the definition for you.
Oh no.
And don't worry about getting them all right. Okay? Fill out the ones that you know. Okay? Worry about the ones that you know. The ones that you don't know, talk to a neighbor. See if they know. Okay? So these are all root words. Alright? And you'll probably use these words. Maybe not all of them. And some of them might have more than one. 29?
Invisible.
That's why I just said. You write both in there.
Incorrect.
Because I think unlike is a very new term since Facebook. Right? Like and unlike. Because before you wouldn't unlike something. You would dislike it, right? Now it's become a verb. Yeah, right? Okay? You wouldn't say, oh, I'm unfriending you. You just be like, we're not friends anymore. Right? And it's not, you wouldn't say, I'm unliking you.
Unlike.
I just don't like you anymore. So those are two new phrases with friend and like.
Inconvenient. Expensive.
Because unlike is an action, dislike is a state. You dislike something. It's a feeling.
Insecure. Unlocked.
Give me another minute or so. And like I said, don't worry if you don't know all of them, okay? I'm gonna go through with you and we'll talk about it.
Disappear.
And I was trying to rack my brain and trying to think of words that would be commonly used
Environment.
and commonly prefixed, I guess. I don't know. That's like a double prefix. Prefixed. I don't know. There's a couple that can have more than one, okay?
Expensive.
All right. Okay, so number one, for comfortable, uncomfortable, right? Number two, irrelevant. Yes. Okay. Relevant means like important to something. So irrelevant, it's not important to whatever you're talking about or not connected to. Okay. Polite.
Impolite.
Impolite. Okay. All right. Impolite.
Impolite.
All right. All right. Number four.
Expensive.
No, not un.
Not.
Inexpensive. Inexpensive. So in. Inexpensive.
Inexpensive.
Okay. Inexpensive. Alright. So, number five, patient. Impatient. Impatient. I am impatient. Okay. Now, you'll notice that patient's on there twice.
Yes.
Different words. Okay. You can have patience, you can be patient, and you can be a patient. Okay? Alright, so logical. Illogical. I-L, illogical. So not logical. Okay? So logic, having reason, thinking things out. Convenient. Inconvenient. Right? Inconvenient. That convenience store is very inconvenient. Alright, locked.
Unlocked.
Unlocked. Unlocked. Okay. Honest. Dishonest.
Dishonest.
Okay. Possible.
Impossible.
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 Impossible. Okay. Responsible. Irresponsible. I-R. Irresponsible. Resistible. Irresistible.
Irresistible.
Okay. Satisfied.
Unsatisfied.
Unsatisfied, also dissatisfied.
Oh, dis.
Both are okay. Unsatisfied would be like after your meal you were unsatisfied with the food quality. Okay? Dissatisfied would be like something that's going on. I'm dissatisfied with the service, or I'm dissatisfied with the movie choice that we watched. That means that it's going on right now. Unsatisfied, it already happened. You're unsatisfied with whatever happened. Okay, so unsatisfied and dissatisfied are both okay. Okay? Alright, known,
Unknown.
unknown. Okay? Punctual,
Punctual.
not impunctual. Unpunctual.
Unpunctual.
Okay? Unpunctual. Punctual means to be on time. Okay?
On time.
Okay? Dependent.
Independent.
Independent.
Dependent.
Okay? Replaceable. Irreplaceable.
Ear.
Secure.
Insecure.
Insecure. I-N. Insecure. Okay? Grateful.
This.
No.
This.
Ungrateful. Ungrateful.
Ungrateful.
Yes. Ungrateful. UN. Un. Okay? Okay. Patient. Non-patient.
None.
So the difference would be, this one would be
Now.
None. Dish. None.
they aren't a patient in a hospital. This is a non-patient, they're a visitor. And you need the hyphen. You need the hyphen for that. Okay? Alright, smoker. Non-smoker. Okay, someone who doesn't smoke. You can't be an unsmoker.
How about anytime?
Anti-smoker? Sure, that works. Anti-smoker,
Anti.
yep. That's someone who's against smoking. Non-smoker doesn't smoke. Anti-smoking, against smoking. You shouldn't smoke, stop, put that cigarette down, right? That's an anti-smoker. Then a de-smoker would be like, maybe in the kitchen, a little fan, right? But, yeah, that's not really something that we use very much, okay? Alright, legal, illegal, I-L, illegal. Appeared, disappeared. Mature, immature, okay? I am,
Immature.
okay? Fair, unfair, okay? Violent,
Violent.
None.
non,
None.
non-violent, non-violent.
Violent.
Probable, I am, improbable.
Informal.
Just think of impossible, improbable, okay? Impossible definitely can't happen. Improbable could happen, but not likely. That's the difference, okay? Advantage,
This.
disadvantage. Don't have an advantage, right?
Disadvantage.
Like,
Un-
unlike or dislike,
Dislike.
okay? Like I was saying before, unlike, that's a new term since, you can like photos and then unclick it, okay? So that's where it comes from, unclick,
Unclick.
unlike, right? Okay? So, dislike would be the way that you talk about feelings, okay? I dislike potatoes, not I unlike potatoes, okay? Regular, irregular,
Irregular.
literate, illiterate, IL. Lucky, not illucky,
Unlucky.
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 Unlucky. Okay? Employed, unemployed, UN, unemployed. Which none of us are, we're all employed. Okay. All right. Formal.
Informal.
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 Okay. IN. Practical.
Visible.
Visible.
Oh.
Visible.
Visible.
Invisible.
Invisible. Invisible. IN. Visible. Fiction.
Non-fiction.
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 Practical. IM. Impractical. Not practical. Okay? So, correct. Incorrect.
Incorrect.
Damaged. Undamaged. Undamaged.
Damaged.
Okay? Proportionate.
Proportionate.
IM. Improportionate. Do you know what proportionate means?
No.
It's like divided evenly. So he has an improportionate amount of the cookies, right? So he has more, okay? So proportionate means it's equally or divided the way it should be, okay? All right. So we have 10 minutes, so I'm just going to go through this last little bit, talking about memos, and we can talk about memos next time. But those of you from last year might remember this. This is a memo from who? My dad. My dad is someone when you ask him about something. So a memo, when someone has to take minutes for a meeting, they write a memo, right? Okay? And a memo is just important sort of things, and not everything that you're talking about. This is my dad summing up of last year. Not this past year, but the year before. Okay? So my father is the type when you ask him, oh, so how was the trip? Well, you know, we woke up at 8 a.m. and then we had to be at the airport by 7. So we left the house at about 8:30, and we got to the airport, you know, around like 7:05. And I decided to buy myself a newspaper before I went onto the airplane because, you know, it's an hour and 15 ride, and you know, we're going to St. Louis to see your sister and your niece and nephew, and so then I went and got a coffee, and it's like, Dad, I don't need to know all this stuff. Why are you saying? Just say good or not good. Like, I don't care about all the details. Okay? So this is a memo of everything from, yeah. So,
Of the men.
but I have other friends' parents that don't give that much detail to everything. Okay? So, as you can see, this is a huge, filled with a lot of information. Okay? So if you wrote your memos like my dad writes his year-end reviews, then people will just be like, it's longer than going to the actual meeting, okay? So, would you like me to read through this or no? No, okay, that's fine. Okay, but you can see that this is not a proper way to do a memo, alright? So, things to think about for memo writing. Use bullet points. Information organization helps show important information. So, putting categories in bold letters and then bullet points under that, right? Neutral language. Right? You're not giving an opinion, you're stating facts, right? So you want to use neutral language. You're not gonna say, oh, I think that this was a great idea and this was no. You're just stating what was talked about. Okay? You want to keep it clear and concise. So nothing too not this. Clear and concise, okay? If the message refers to an action, use the imperative or command form. Okay? So if something needs to be done, don't say, I think we need to do this. No, say, we need to do this. Okay? Give the action, or do this. Alright? Giving command form. Friendly endings and or formal conclusions are a great way to end it. If you're writing it as like, okay, here's meeting minutes, blah, 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 you give all that, okay, have a great weekend, right? If it's written in that form in your email. Alright? So that's the basics of memo writing. And since we only have 7 minutes, I want you to write a memo of your past year. Okay? Now, the past year is a long time. So how do you distill it down into a few bullet points? Well, think of just important things. Okay? So think of a few things that you or your family have done in the past year. Alright? Think of 2 or 3 hopes and wishes for the next year. Alright? So, how can we divide this if I'm giving you the direction like this to write a memo? How can you divide it into categories? What are,
Go back.
well, you could say this past year. So you could say events from this last year or things I did this last year. And then the second category could be hopes for next year or wishes in the future or upcoming hopes, something like that. So you have two categories and then you have bullet points in each one. So for me, past year, started off by going to Bali with my best friends since 5th grade. Then I was offered a more permanent position at TAS. Then I had a nice summer break where I went home for 3 weeks. Then I started the school year as an EAL, 8th grade teacher. And then going to relax on my winter break. Done. Right? That's like what, 4 or 5 bullet points. And hopes for next year. My position at TAS was solidified. So I hope that it goes well. And then I hope that I can stay healthy and happy. There we go, right? Okay? So just a few bullet points in each one. So come up with your own memos, right? For what you did in the past year and some hopes for next year. But remember, when you're writing them, I want you to write it kind of in, I know it's informal sort of what we're talking about, but I figure it's easy to do it that way, to think about this sort of stuff, than to think about like business related things. But make sure you're putting it, you're organizing it in this sort of way. You're using bullet points and organization of the information, using neutral language, keep it clear and concise. Now neutral language for your hopes, of course, you don't need to use neutral language there because that's what the category demands. Clear and concise, and then if there's an action, use the command form. So if your hope is talking about an action, then say, I will do this next year instead of I will, okay? And you don't need to worry about the friendly end, okay? So take a few minutes to do that. So come up with a way that you can categorize, right? And create a short memo. Alright, so things that you did this past year, okay, important events, and highlight, find the important information. What would be important to talk about? Yes, you're getting home. Students are pushing home. Past year should be the easy one to figure out. Sure. And then away. So why? Okay. So we have a couple more minutes. Gain, G-A-I-N. Me too, but right now I'm losing it. Yeah, I've been on a diet for the last month. 5 kilos. It's just the diet. Keto. Cheese, meat. No bread, no sugar. Works.
Rice?
Nope.
No.
No carbohydrates, no sugar.
No carbohydrate,
Vegetable, meat, fats.
vegetable.
And protein.
So, okay. So, looks like you understand kind of the memo, how to write it.
You can't think of what you did this last year?
Okay, so that's okay. So basically, a memo is similar to this sort of structure, right? Where you have just bullet points and you keep it short and simple, and just to highlight the important information. All right. Now, we do not meet again until the first
Next
week.
year.
Yep, until next year. Okay. So this is the last class until January. So I think it's when do we come back? Is it the 7th? Is the PD day?
January 10th.
10th. Yeah. Yeah. So January 10th is that Thursday. Okay.
First week?
Second week in the first week we come back.
Yes.
So it's the second week because the Monday is the 7th. So that means that it's already a week
So
into
we
the
will
year.
see you 17th, right?
No, 10th.
10th, January 10th.
January 10th.
Of school.
First week of school is the 7th.
Yes.
Yeah. So have a good New Year.
You too.
All right.
Merry Christmas.
Thank
Are
you.
you going home?
No. 2 weeks is too short. I go home and then I have to go see my parents, then go see my brother, so he's 45-minute drive away, then I go down to see my sister, then I have to fly down there, then I have to go see it's basically my grandfather, but my grandma's brother, who's out in New Jersey, then I go see my best friend who's in New York, then I go back and I have to visit all these, so in 2 weeks, I end up going to like 6 different airports, and I hate it. So I'd rather just not go home and deal with all that.
So you dislike going home?
Yeah, before the holidays. Because also it's just like everyone's off work, so everyone wants to see you, and so like there's no downtime. It's like wake up and say, hey, let's get together. And so it's just like going around to a bunch of different places, and I come back way more tired. So it's not like a break. It's just like this run around. So I like to go home in the summer where I can have longer time, like a month, and then I can relax. So yeah, so I'm staying here. All of you, get out of here. Have a good New Year. All right.
Hi, Matt, how long did you lose your weight?
Huh? 1 month.
You lose 5?
Mm.
5 Have you lost
1 month, 5 kilo.
And I don't know if it's 1 month, but the last time I weighed myself was 6 weeks ago. So in the 6 weeks, I went from 90 to 85.
You have before and after
Photos? I'm sure, but I don't know. I had a beard for a while, you remember, and so that doesn't. But also like my pants fit better now. So that's always a good sign.
No rice, no bread, right?
No bread, no rice, no noodles, no starch.
Yes.
So no potatoes, no carrot. Well, carrots are okay, but just very little. But then like
Vegetable fat
just
in the meal.
high fat, high protein, and then no sugar, no carbs. It's really good, but the thing is that the problem, the second that you stop, you can gain back. So
Do you take exercise?
take exercise. Do I do exercise?
Do exercise.
No, I haven't been really. I've been doing like the Tianmu stairs. So I've been walking up to my studio, but that's only like maybe once, twice a week. Oh yeah, yeah, the stairs up the end of the road. Yeah,
Only pay to ride up to the.
to walk up there, 45 minutes.
Wow.
Gotta get the heart up. So it's exercise for me. It's not like oh, it's a nice day. No, I just walk.
生酮饮食啊，keto diet。刚刚老师说他现在只能做 keto diet，所以呢，他不能吃淀粉类的，只能吃 fat、吃
I
面
don't
肉。
know.
还有
I don't stop. I stop every once in a while, but like I do 4 videos and I don't
所以
do
刚
it
刚
at
是在
night.
讲这件事情，他
But
他
there's
现在
people that go
他
and do it
花
and
了
they
一
take
个
2
月
hours.
瘦2公斤。对
我今天才做，Let's
Why you
对，
want to lose your weight?
Because in Chinese New Year I'm going to Bali. It helps with my surfing.
Not why main reason you want to.
That's the main reason why I want to lose weight. Is because I'm going to Bali and it helps with my surfing.
Oh,
Because if I'm
but if you go there, you can lose your weight as well. You go
not in 1
surfing.
week, not in 1 week. I want to lose the weight before I go surfing because it helps with it. And so last time I went, I didn't do it
So
and it was hard to do.
Have you do this surfing or something?
Yeah, I go once a year to Bali
Wow.
to do it. So yeah. No, and last year when I did it, it was difficult for me because I was a little bit.
Not really.
No, I was for surfing fitness. So
Same problem with me. I think my weight's too overweight to stand on the board.
yeah, I think it depends on the board size though too.
Yeah.
Because like you can be heavier and you just need a bigger board.
The 9 feet.
9 feet, yeah, that's a long board.
Yeah.
So I use a 7.5 foot.
Wow. It's a
Um,
professional.
no, 6 foot. 6 foot and below is professional.
It's
My friend uses 6 foot.
in the advanced you use the 7.
No, it's not advanced. It's just intermediate. So intermediate is 7.5 or lower. No, I'm not that good. My friend is really good.
Yeah.
So he uses 6 foot.
You,
Jordan's
you,
That's a homeroom for Miss Sharma,
oh,
Sharma,
teacher.
another
D Sharma,
this
Miss D Sharma.
Yeah, Mrs. Sharma.
I have a suggestion.
What's up?
The King Ceramic website. Maybe you can mark the price on your work, your product.
But the thing is that that right now that I have a store design for that, but I'm not going to do it on that. I have a different store site. So that one is just for people to see. Like it's called a portfolio website.
Maybe they want to buy your product or your work, but
Yeah, but the
They
stuff
don't
that's
know.
on the website, I don't have anymore. It's either sold or it's gone.
oh,
So that's just to show what I've done. So if they want to buy my product, I'm developing another page that I'll link to
Oh.
the King Ceramic site.
other page to link the.
Yeah, to sell. So,
Okay.
but yeah, it's I'm slowly developing it. It takes time. So, it will get there eventually. But just for now, I don't want to have many websites selling something. I just want to have one at a time. It's easier to manage.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, welcome. I'll see you around.
Okay.